Right. 3 February 2026. And today I'm excited to be giving you the morning update. And this is one of the most important updates ever, because we're now looking at the kind of reshuffle or the changes that Mnangagwa is going to be making. So within the next month, which is February, we're expecting to see big changes taking place in the government of Zimbabwe, especially at the top. So particularly, we're looking at what is going to happen to Chiwenga. Chiwenga is one of the most powerful people in Zimbabwe, very popular inside of ZANU PF and outside of ZANU PF. And Mnangagwa is expected on his return. So Mnangagwa was currently on leave. He only returned to the office yesterday and immediately left for Dubai. However, reports that we're getting and that have been published last night by the Zimbabwe Independent is that the retired General Valerio Sibanda is going to be appointed as the new Agriculture Minister of Zimbabwe, replacing Sekuru wangu Anxious Masuka. So Valerio Sibanda was a general and the commander-in-chief of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, or in fact, the top general in Zimbabwe for a very long time, until his retirement last year. So the Zimbabwe Independent reports that he is going to be named as the new Zimbabwe Agriculture Minister. And that means Masuka is going to be placed somewhere else. So he's going to be taking over as the Minister of Lands Portfolio. And currently, it also includes lands, agriculture, fisheries, water, and rural development. He's also expected to be appointed into the ZANU PF Party's Politburo. So all this is expected to happen within the next few weeks. We are going to see changes in the army, changes in the top ministries, probably changes in the vice presidency. We're going to see some changes over there, as Mohadi has indicated that he wants to step down. So we expect to see some changes over there. And then, as I said yesterday, the CIO is expected to have some changes happening over there after the investigation is started into the Director General of the CIO, Fulton Mangwanya. So we're expecting a lot of changes. And Mnangagwa normally makes these announcements when he returns from leave or when he's still on leave. So we're expecting to see these announcements. And I believe that what we're seeing right now is a drip announcement by Mnangagwa to test the waters and see what people think. So you might see that eventually Mnangagwa would appoint PV into another position and then put him eventually in another position. I believe that they want to put him into the vice presidency so that he can checkmate Chiwenga. And I believe that they want PV, so that is the Sibanda family. As you're aware, PV is the young brother of Mnangagwa. They share a father, so their fathers share a father. So one Sibanda and Shumba Mrambwe, they are one. I've given a description of those two, how they are connected and related. They are brothers, both of them, and they are working together. So Valerio Sibanda and Mnangagwa are working together, and they are on one side. So that is how it is, and we expect the continuation of what is called the Mafidi dynasty. So even if Mnangagwa was not to go to 2030, he would still have someone in the presidency. That is the game right now, which is there. So let's look how this is going to go. I don't want to keep speculating on these appointments because they're imminent. And Mnangagwa has got no choice because we're getting to the end of Mnangagwa's term. So by the end of 2026, Mnangagwa will cease to become the president of ZANU PF. In 2027, ZANU PF is going to have a new president because the elective congress of ZANU PF is going to happen in 2027. If he doesn't manage to get an extension, Mnangagwa would therefore no longer be president of ZANU PF. And it will either be Chiwenga or one of the senior officials, probably Sanyatwe or PV himself. So these are the people that we expect to take over in ZANU PF. However, Tagwirei is also tipped to become one of the close or possible leaders of ZANU PF, because you can't become a president of Zimbabwe without becoming a president of ZANU PF. ZANU PF is the concept of one center of power. So their president is also the president of the country. And as we speak right now, Tagwirei is traveling with Mnangagwa in Dubai. So Tagwirei has traveled yesterday to the World Government Summit with Barbara Rwodzi, Masuka. He has also gone with the Murwira and a whole bunch of other people. So if you look on this table here, you will see that we've got people like, and let me just wait for my table to display. So we've got Mnangagwa there chairing the meeting. We've got Barbara Rwodzi there. We've got Masuka there. We've got Murwira there. We've got Mutuli, and I see other people sitting on this table. But Tagwirei himself is not traveling with the delegation. He is traveling on the sidelines. So there are meetings taking place relating to Zimbabwe, and it's official business, but there are private meetings that are taking place right now with regards to what Zimbabwe wants to do, that is on the business side. And I believe that people like Wikino, people like Scott Sakupkanya, and also Tagwirei are over there having this secret discussion that do not have anything to do with official business. We're also going to see the Zimbabwe's bid for the UN Security Council being discussed and other bids, so other things that Zimbabwe want to do. But these are official business of the government. Mnangagwa is expected today either on CNN or on Al Jazeera, one of those two, this evening or this morning. So we expect Mnangagwa to come out and sit on a panel where he's going to be discussing various issues regarding Zimbabwe. So that is what is going to happen. But in terms of where we're going, the man to watch is Chiwenga. So what is going to happen, Chiwenga? How is Mnangagwa going to deal with Chiwenga? Chiwenga is extremely popular in ZANU PF and outside of ZANU PF. And they need to deal with Chiwenga. So that is what you're going to see. The actions that are going to take place within the next few weeks relate to dealing with Chiwenga. And I believe that they're going to eventually remove Chiwenga, probably put him on a ministerial or a ambassadorial post. So they could do that because Chiwenga is being accused, obviously previously, was accused of being disloyal, of not understanding the ideology of the party and needing to go to the Chitepo school of ideology. So you can see that now we are on the end game. So that is the end game where we are, where Valerio is going to come back in. And then we've got 3 top military people in ZANU PF. That is Valerio himself, Chiwenga, and Sanyatwe. And Sanyatwe, he looks like he's not powerful, but you're going to see that Sanyatwe is going to become one of the key people. And then obviously Tagwirei on this side, who's got a lot of money that is throwing around and also moving around with Mnangagwa. However, as I will show you later on today, unfortunately yesterday I didn't manage to do it because we had to go to Nyoka Mabunu. Something has happened with the Tagwirei. Something very significant has happened with Tagwirei and Mnangagwa. And I'm going to show you that later on during the course of this week. I don't want to say a day because I will end up lying to you. Then obviously, and we move away from that topic, let's go to what has happened, a very sad development. And I've always been saying this, people are hungry and they're doing crazy stuff. So I'm very disappointed with Bishop Kevin Nyamakanga. Bishop Kevin Nyamakanga, we first knew him when he came out and said that God had sent him to go to every location in Zimbabwe, like Matopo's Great Zimbabwe, to go and pray for the removal of Mnangagwa. However, yesterday, after being jailed for months by Mnangagwa without trial, Bishop Kevin Nyamakanga has officially joined ZANU PF. And I've been saying this for a long time. Nyamakanga is so hungry that he needs to get something to eat. And I asked people to support him and help him, but no one did. So eventually, Nyamakanga has joined ZANU PF officially. He's now a member and he's made the announcement on his Facebook page. This comes after Nyamakanga was making all sorts of crazy allegations about me talking badly about Gambakwe. And we're wondering what has happened for Nyamakanga to do this. And it's now clear that Nyamakanga, when he was in jail, they turned him. So be very careful of the guys who are coming out of jail. Most of them have been turned or have been converted into ZANU PF. And I'm very disappointed with the Nyamakanga because Nyamakanga, when he started out, we worked with him during leading up to SADC summit. But then he was very odd and strange. But there are many other people who were doing the same thing and who are doing the same thing. So we don't know who has been turned, but we must be extremely careful with everyone that we're dealing with, because some of them are already ZANU and they just pretend not to be ZANU, and they're coming out to talk crazy and strange stuff. So Pasina Nyamakanga, Pasinae, we don't take people who move away just at the edge. We're at the edge of a big change, and Nyamakanga turning and going away. So sad. And then let's go to the most trending girl in Zimbabwe today. Guys, I've never seen anything like this. This girl posted a video and 4 million, 5 million people watch it. Like right now, she just did a video. I'm watching this video now. And it's got 3 million views after 3 hours. So this girl is called Queen Nadia. Facebook has been asked to remove the content by Zimbabweans have complained about the content she's trending across Africa. So Queen Nadia she posts a video where she reveals everything. And Facebook has been asked why they're now allowing someone to post such a video. And unfortunately, they have allowed it. And Queen Nadia TV is now trending, but in an embarrassing fashion. Many Zimbabweans are so sad and disappointed about what she's doing, but she's getting massive views. So if you go to Queen Nadia TV, you will see what I'm talking about. She's just posted a video. There is nothing on earth and something which is not on earth that she has not revealed. So I finished. If you want to see what she looked like when she was born, then go there and see on Facebook. And the Facebook moderators have agreed that she can keep that content on there. I don't know if they are desperate for views or what, but I've seen that Facebook and Instagram are now allowing women to post almost everything. But in this particular case, she has posted everything. And she is trending like crazy across the whole of Southern Africa. There is not one person from who is not seeing what she is showing off. So that is crazy. Queen Nadia TV, the most trending person ever. And all the other socialites have just gone away because of what she's done. I don't know if that's the new strategy for Facebook. And then we've got, obviously, the sad situation in Nigeria, where the young singer, Ifunanya Nwangene, was bitten by a snake and died. So Ifunanya is the Voice Nigeria singer, and when she was at home, a black snake bit her. She was taken to hospital, but they didn't have antivenom, and then she died. So last week I showed you the snake catchers in Zimbabwe. Please keep those numbers. I'm going to post them on Gambakwe again. If you are bitten by a snake, most snakes in Zimbabwe are not poisonous. However, there are a number of poisonous snakes, and antivenom is very expensive. It can cost up to $50,000 per injection. So when you're bitten by a snake, the hospital normally doesn't inject you with antivenom. They will see if the snake is poisonous or not, and then they will obviously decide. In South Africa, sometimes there's only one injection in the whole province of 50 million people. And sometimes when a dog is bitten, it needs antivenom, and they've got those kind of crazy situations. So be very careful with snakes. Keep your doors and windows closed. There are lots of snakes right now because of the heat. So do not open your windows when you go to bed. When you go into any place, when you're walking at night, be very careful. because snakes are everywhere. And that is particularly in Harare. Harare has got black mambas and cobras and pythons. When we were at school, there used to be black mambas. Like at my school, at Mzingwane High School, there used to be so many black mambas, but no one was ever beaten. We, at one point, would see a black mamba and all the kids would just go around it and make noise and shout and step on it. And it was crazy that we never got beaten because the grass was so big. But be very careful of snakes. They are very, very dangerous. And in Harare, close your windows, get the snake catchers to come over. And don't just let your kids go into the house without checking. Check under the blankets, under the bed, and so forth, and in the wardrobes. You'll find some crazy stuff over there. One of my friends, their kids' bedroom was so bad, they didn't have order. So there was a lot of stuff in the wardrobe. Then they did a spring cleaning one day after about 6 months, and they found a dead snake inside the wardrobe. That was crazy. And that was in Bulawayo, by the way. So be careful of that and watch out. Don't say I didn't tell you. And the Net One in business has introduced what is called reverse calling. So Net One is the second biggest network in Zimbabwe. And reverse calling is where you call someone without data, without airtime. So you call a person without airtime, and they will receive a message that, do you want to pick this call at your own cost? And then that call will then be picked, and they will pay for it. Alternatively, you can dial 164 in the number while you're on Net One, and then the person will be billed for that call. That is a very innovative kind of setup for Zimbabwe, where many people don't have money. Then let's go to sport. Nakamba, Marvelous Nakamba has signed a contract after leaving Luton. He has signed a new contract with the Sheffield Wednesday Football Club. So he's the captain of Zimbabwe Warriors. So you can go and check that out in all the newspapers. And then in the H Metro newspaper, former top cop Oliver Chibage is in a row with the Hot Plate Grill House. Over 27,000 chickens that were supplied and were never paid. So the company called Hot Plate Grill House is broke, Yaka broker. So they are currently unable to pay. I know that it belongs to one of the top ZANU PF guys. They also have a contract at Manize, and the top cop Chibage was supplying chickens over there, and then they didn't pay. And this case is going to be ruled today. You're going to see the ruling coming out today. The reason why they didn't pay is because Manize itself, the steel plant, is broke. Yaka broker. Nothing is happening over there. There's no production taking place. And that is because there's no market for the steel. Their steel is too expensive. And therefore, it's cascading to the suppliers. So that is why you can see that such people are not getting paid. So said, I don't know why they've got that thing, Manize steel plant. Something that they keep talking about that doesn't make money at all. And in South Africa, obviously, this is the same thing. There is realignment taking place. And currently, we have MC Mining that is going to be closing in KZN, but they're opening a new plant at Makado. So there's a lot taking place, and mining is no longer what it used to be. It needs a total control over costs and understanding of the customer. Who is the customer? And why do they buy from you? Then let's go to Mpofu and Chimombe. Their attempt to get an appeal at the Supreme Court of Zimbabwe against the sentences failed. So they're going to be serving in jail for 12 years. And they also have to restitute $1 million. So that is Chimombe there. He has to restitute $1 million, but he's going to be in jail. Mpofu is in trouble. And Mpofu, my understanding is that he's the son of the ZANU PF ICT secretary, Uebert Mpofu. If he's not a son, he's a brother. But this is unfortunate. And this is because they crossed the line. So they crossed the line with Mnangagwa. Okay, I think I've covered most of the stuff I wanted to cover. Let's quickly go to Nelson Chamisa, my homeboy wangu, Nelson Chamisa, 8 years old. great love for Nelson Chamisa, and he's going to do so well. This is the year of Nelson Chamisa. Chamisa and Chiwenga, they are going to do something together if Chiwenga is removed. So you will see that happening. And I believe that Chiwenga will be removed this year. They are going to remove him somehow within the next 6 months. Chiwenga is a big stumbling block in ZANU PF for the plans of Mnangagwa, the dynastic plans of Mnangagwa. So we'll see what Chamisa is going to do. I believe that Chamisa is honest and he's got a plan. I believe that Chamisa is a new guy. Right now, the new Chamisa that I was seeing is not the same as the old Chamisa. And I believe that Chamisa is removed from around himself the people that are not supposed to be there. So people like Muganu, they're not supposed to be there. I don't know about Dr. Shumba. Dr. Shumba has been very quiet. I haven't talked to him in a long, long time. I've seen young Ostalos moving around, but I don't know what the strategy is. But I believe that Chamisa now needs to appoint a team, and we want to see who's going to be right next to Chamisa. It's going to be very important. This mistake that Chamisa has made to make people sit next to him that don't share what he believes in was one of the biggest mistakes. You have seen Chamisa with Kupe, you have seen Chamisa with Muganu, you have seen Chamisa with BT, you have seen Chamisa with a whole bunch of people, Watchmen Ngube, that have eventually turned around and stabbed him in the back. So he must be very careful who he picks. And this must happen quickly because we need a party that can lead, that can become a government in waiting. So Chiwenga would be ideal. If Chamisa was to have Chiwenga next to him, that would be ideal. So let's see what happens. But I believe that that removal of Chiwenga is imminent. I don't believe that they can go and leave Chiwenga in office with all the other people there. That means Chiwenga will take over. And I don't believe that is what Mnangagwa wants. And I believe Mnangagwa is fed up with what is happening around him. And as I said, I'll show you other things that have happened last week around Mnangagwa. Watch what Jealous Mawari said. Jealous Mawari is crazy. But most of the stuff that he said last week, there is some truth in what he said. So let's see what happens. There is a lot that's going to happen in the next few weeks. Mnangagwa has to act, especially regarding the security structures. That is the CIO, the military. He has to make a move. And also the Politburo. You are going to have a stabilizing factor here. Who is Valerio? Valerio is quite a stable guy. However, he is still Mnangagwa's person. So Valerio is Mnangagwa's brother. They talk every day. And Valerio knows what happened to the generals. He knows everything. That is why you can see he is sitting there with his glasses. Very calm. He knows exactly what happened to the general. Right, so I think we've covered that. Let's go to the newspapers. I want to quickly go into the newspapers. And I want to start today with the Chronicle newspaper. And guys, what is going to happen now? We are going to get busy. So this is going to be the busiest year ever. 2026 is going to be worse than 2025. But 2027 is going to be a crazy year. So let's start with Mnangagwa over here. So Mnangagwa has arrived at the World Government Summit, and you can see that Ministry of State and Executive Member Sheikh Shakbu bin Nayan Al Nayan arrived, welcomed Mnangagwa. Look at that uniform. That soldier from UAE. That's crazy. I've never seen such a uniform at UAE. So quite senior guys over there. Then let's look at Uebert Angel touring projects. So they're touring projects. And then we've got an important event in Cuba. So Higher and Tertiary Education Minister Shava welcomes Cuban ambassador to Zimbabwe, Socialist Perez Mesa. Ambassador Shava is poised to lead the delegation to attend the 15th International Congress of Higher Education to be held at the Convention Center in Cuba later this month. This won't happen. Cuba is collapsing. So within the next 2 to 3 weeks, Cuba is going to totally collapse. They've got no fuel, no money is coming in, and Cuba is definitely going to collapse. You can be assured, if I was Shava, I'll cancel that trip. It will never happen because President Trump has made sure of it. So don't expect shower to go to Cuba. It's going to be bad. But I want to show you guys what has happened to the gold price. So this weekend, the gold price has crashed. So it crashed by a lot. So from about 5,000 to like 4,000 something. So the Zimbabwe government, if they're not careful, they'll end up with no money at all. Gold is not a real thing. So gold is like a lump of metal that has got value placed on it. The price of gold is different everywhere. So what is happening right now is that because the war is about to end, so when the wars end, gold will go down like you've never seen. Gold is coming from 1,660. So as soon as these wars end, you're going to see it crash. So Zimbabwe's economy will also crash with gold because they've got nothing else. So they need to work on a new strategy. And I don't know if this is it. I don't believe that the Zimbabwe government has got a proper strategy. National Development Strategy 2 is not actionable. It's a bunch of intentions, but cannot be actioned. So you need something better. You need a different kind of economy. And obviously, I don't believe Mnangagwa is able to do it. I also don't believe that someone like Tagwirei has a plan. So if Tagwirei was to take over, he's got no plan. The only person right now and the only team would be Chamisa. Chamisa getting in would totally transform everything. And then Chiwenga coming in would totally transform everything. So that is where we're looking at that team. This team of Mnangagwa, they are only interested in what they are doing. So with their own little circle, that is where Mnangagwa and his team currently are. They don't have a plan. They don't know how to make use of the resources of Zimbabwe and to deal with the tertiary industries. They are so stuck on the primary industries. That is gold, agriculture, mining. That is where they are. You cannot make money there. And I know Ghana knows what I'm talking about. He's the one guy that was saying this in the past. The problem in Zimbabwe is the economy is not yet mature. It is so bad. It is so archaic. It's so old. It is the old economy. Cecil John Rhodes can come back and go straight back in his office, and he won't even find anything strange or different. It will be the same. Even the keys at State House, they still use the same key that was used by Smith. That is how bad it is. Nothing is changing in our country. Or in short, it's like a broker. Let's now go into other pictures. Guys, this is big. Notice of award. So, Rwodzi Council has awarded Primville Trading eminent cars to supply double cab vehicle. And then let's see what else is over here. Very quickly, they've got a bigger newspaper today. Remember, yesterday they did one of the smallest newspapers. And then more rain coming in Sadak. There's going to be a lot of rain. Let's look at Zim Papers. What has happened at Zim Papers? Miss Priska Makando. The board of Zim Papers is pleased to announce the appointment of Miss Priska Makandwa as CFO. So Mrs. Priska Makandwa. So she's, where's she coming from? Chartered accountant from UNISA. She brings with her 15 years of experience. And then Makandwa is actually a member of ICAS. And then where was she working before? She was at USAID, UNICEF, NIH, European Union, Australia Aid, and then, wow, I don't know what else. Finance and Operations Director for the Accelerated and Comprehensive HIV Care for Epidemic Control in Zimbabwe. So I guess she was one of the people who were removed when USAID closed. So that is how she ended up here. Let's look at the Chronicle newspaper. Chronicle Zimbabwe. What is in the Chronicle Zimbabwe? Let's look at the Chronicle Zimbabwe very quickly. And in the Chronicle Zimbabwe, we're seeing 40 global leaders at Government Summit. So that includes my favorite president, President Duma Boko, has arrived at the World Government Summit and has made an announcement. Botswana is looking for partners. So let's see what happens over there. And then we've got the maize. 96-year-old woman defies climate change, leads smart farming in Zimbabwe. And then a gun attack in Pilanda West. Homeowners shot 4 times. So this is the house where a robbery took place at Pilanda. But guys, what happened yesterday is worse. So in Harare yesterday, there was an attack that took place where 2 people were killed. So if you go to YouTube and you look for Mkomaslai, so Mkomaslai has got a channel. So he has shown a robbery that took place in Harare where 5 robbers broke into a house and then the owner shot them back. So he shot them and they carried one of the bodies away. However, one of the bodies remained. So that is an area called Nyatsime. There was a robbery. There were 5 robbers attacked a man and his wife. He's the owner of a hardware shop. And on arrival, they cut him up with pangas and other all sorts of sharp objects. Then he pulled out his gun and shot at them. So 2 of them died. You can go and look at the channel is called Zimbabwe Trends. That is Mkomaslai's channel. So what is happening is that there are no lights at night. Police can't come. So by 12 midday, the body was still not collected because police don't have any transport. So this family is currently in hospital at Nyatsime, and there are so many robberies taking place over there. So go check out this robbery that is taking place. It's so sad. And Harare is now a wild west because the police are not capable of protecting the citizens. So if you're in security business, there is a business, you should be able and willing. Here in South Africa, it's a $5 billion industry, private security here. Police core private security. Police stations are guarded by private security. So find out how we can sort out these problems. Crime is rampant in Zimbabwe, and the police are unable to do anything. The only people they can arrest is political activists, politicians. So our police are not capable. They don't have the necessary tools. Last time they responded, they tried to shoot, their gun jammed. Can you believe it? It's so messy in Zimbabwe. I cannot believe that someone responds to something and then they shoot and the gun jams and they're police. That is crazy. Then let's go to which other newspaper am I left with? Okay, so we did Pelandawa, and we also have the same story on the new CFO of Zimpapers. Zimpapers itself is going to go through a lot of changes. The newspaper industry is changing a lot. And then let's see what else. So Islanders preparations are starting, but IShowSpeed has completed his tour in Africa. So IShowSpeed, my belief is that he has left. He's now gone back to the United States of America. He's done so well, and many Africans now know him physically and in person. Great job, young man. And then in terms of birthday, my Sekuru Moyana shares a birthday with Nelson Chamisa. So Moyana, that is my Sekuru from my mother's side. You can see him over here. He's a great pastor and one of the most known people in Zimbabwe. So I've got very popular Sekurus, Masuka. That is from my father's side. My grandmother's brothers are Masuka. And then Moyana, that is my mother's side. My mother's father is Moyana. So if you don't know Augustine Moyana, he was one of the first people at Alaska Mine who was the IT guy. Back in the days when you called someone, there was a guy who sits here and you would dial a number, you dial your girlfriend, and then the phone, you would take the one phone and the other phone. So that was called an exchange. And your phone will ring at the exchange, and then it will ring at your girlfriend, and you put them together. And you will say hello, and your girlfriend will say hello. And then that was how phones used to work in the past. So that was called an exchange. So Sekuru wangu, Augustine Moyana, used to operate the exchange at Alaska Mine. That is around Chinoy over there, if I'm not mistaken. That was amazing. I'm going to go to Alaska one day and check it out. It was so funny. So Sekuru Moyana here is running a church inside of Harare, and happy birthday to him. And then what else do we have? Let's see if there's anything else that I've forgotten here that I've not covered. All right. So obviously, every evening we'll come back with the AFM University. Last night I did a presentation. Go check it out. We're going to do so well. We're setting up one of the biggest universities for the AFM, and I'll let you guys know about it. A lot is going to be happening. We're going to do so well, especially with the Center for Employment Creation. I think I've covered most of the newspapers. Let's see if the Star has got anything new. We have a serious situation in South Africa where the councils have collapsed. So the councils in South Africa have collapsed. They can't provide water. At my house, I have not had water since Friday last week. I have not had water. 1 million people in Midrand don't have water. So that is, they don't know what to do. They cannot fix it. The waters have run dry. I have got containers in my house. I bath in a tub. And the Johannesburg Stock Exchange has given 1 month to the Johannesburg city, the city of Ekurhuleni, to the city of Cape Town to produce financial statements. They cannot produce financial statements. Guys, if you think Harare is bad, Johannesburg is the West. So they are so badly managed that they're failing to provide water. There are places right now in Pretoria with no power for days, some of them 3 months. So this is because of corruption. They're stealing everything they can steal. And that includes water. So water, they failed to treat water. In December, I showed you that the water was now smelling from the dam. And these are the same guys who think they can fight with Israel and with the United States. I always laugh and think, imagine you want to go and fight in Gaza, but you can't even provide water in Johannesburg. There's no water right now, almost everywhere. And if you drink the water, you will die. So you will die if you drink the water of Johannesburg. Wherever there's water, you will die. They don't know how to fix this current situation. What a mess under Ramaphosa. It's a mess, I can tell you. If you pass a person from Johannesburg, they are smelling like they are from the village right now. It's a total mess. And then let's look at, and the portion I told you about financials, it's so serious. These guys have got bonds for billions. If the JSE acts on those that lack of financials, what is going to happen is that they are going to be downgraded. And that is going to be a terrible thing for the residents of Johannesburg, Cape Town, and Ekurhuleni. What a mess. Then SAPS member kidnapped by security forces claims he was forced to rectify errors in ballistic report on slain Amon Murwira. So this is a big story. In a dramatic turn of events, yesterday, SAPS ballistic analyst Captain Lawrence Mohale testified that he was kidnapped by armed police officers who forced him to rectify errors in ballistic report related to the murder of a engineer, Amon Murwira, in April 2024. Corruption is rampant. I don't even want to talk about it. The South Africa that we see right now is not the South Africa that we know. Okay. In terms of war, don't expect much. Iran is making a lot of threats against the United States. But if the Americans move on Iran, it will be like this. Like 2 minutes, they'll be gone. The Americans are so strong. And we heard what President Trump said. They've got a new weapon. And that weapon is so strong. So go and watch President Trump. I don't want to repeat what he said. But Iran is not going to be able to do anything against the Americans. They're going to lose very, very badly. Right, then finally, I want to look at the AIDS companies. So companies that supply AIDS drugs in South Africa, there are 3 of them. They were offered or won a tender to supply 12 billion worth of drugs. So that is PrEP and HIV ARVs. However, they all went into administration. They were not able to supply the 12 billion worth of drugs. So they were now put into administration, or they were bankrupt. So yesterday, Indian company Hetero has bought the 3 companies. So the 3 companies are connected to each other. How they got that tender surprises me because they were not able to supply. So these companies, Avacare, Innovata, and Bars, they've now sold 75% of their shareholding to the Indian company Hetero, and Hetero is now going to start supplying HIV drugs, which were no longer available in South Africa. They will now arrive in South Africa on the 10th of February. So all that story that you hear about Zimbabweans taking the drugs, HIV drugs to Zimbabwe, that's not true. It's corruption. So it's so corrupt. The tender was given to someone who can't even supply, someone who was in distress. And when they were trying to supply the drugs, they failed. So that is why it happened. So the tender for 12 billion is now going to the Indian company, Hetero. So if you're taking any HIV drugs in South Africa, you must know that they're coming from India. So make your decision very wisely. Make it wisely. Don't take HIV drugs. That will make you sicker. Okay, I think I've covered everything. Let's go to comments. Gambakwe, my son, stays in Sunninghill. We have water, and friends stay in Midrand. They have water. In Eastern, we have water. Which part of Midrand are you staying? This is not true. So let me show you. The whole of Midrand has no water, including Tembisa. They have not had water. I'm trying to find the statement that they issued. So water has been gone since last week. And the reason why this is happening is because there's a failure at a pump station. So they can't buy the pump. And this is the second time. So in December, there was no water for 10 days. Since Friday last week, there's been no water. It only briefly reappeared. Water, my children don't know about Zugub. So I just want to show you guys, because I want you, Sekuru, to understand what I'm showing you. I'm going to stand up and take Zugub Zango right now. So give me a second. I want the Johannesburg City Water guys to see what I'm showing you right now. Right, so guys, look, I'm in Johannesburg. I'm in Johannesburg in the Midrand, right? Every day I go and buy for cooking. Since Friday, I buy 4 of this just for cooking. Then let me show you what I use for bathing. You're gonna laugh, guys. So funny. Johannesburg, come on. Johannesburg is so funny. Let me show you why I bath. So for bathing, this is what I use, right? I use this big thing here. I go and buy water here. This is 50 Rand. So I buy this big thing here. Right, so guys, you see, I'm not lying to you. Corruption is evil. I can tell you that corruption is evil. The most evil thing is corruption. Johannesburg water is a total mess. And these guys, they need to be called out. They are sending, you know those tankers, those round tankers? They send them to different places. And if you go to a checkers, you're going to see people queued up. So the best place to get water right now, because it runs out. So water is running out at the places that sell water. So if you go to Vona Valley, there's no water. If you go to Cowswood, there's no water. In the shops, they ran out. If you go to Kailam Corner, there's no water. So last week, I've got a small office in Johannesburg. I took my guys. We drove around looking for water. Because obviously, we can't all drive around. So we went to Vona Valley. From Vona Valley, we went to Mushroom. From Mushroom, they even removed. So what the shop did, they removed the water system because they didn't want people coming there. And then eventually we got water at Mushroom. So in my house, there are 5 people. When we want to bath, we have to take that big bucket and then we'll go and we fill. Because my car is a small SUV, we have to go 3 times. And one bath costs us 150 rands or $10. That is crazy. I cannot believe it. And imagine if you want to flush the bathroom and it's raining outside. So outside me, it's raining cats and dogs. Like I can barely drive because of the rain. It's even hailing. And these guys at Johannesburg City and Johannesburg Water, it's because of corruption. they were not treating the water. So there was no chemicals being put in the water in December. And someone a whistleblower had to come and say, guys, don't drink this water. And then they issued a statement that there's no water, there's no chemicals, you must be careful. The council itself issued a statement. So if I can't bath, how am I going to wash? How am my kids going to bath? How am I going to cook? It's so crazy. I can't believe that such a city, Johannesburg, a world-class city, is being managed by such incompetent people. It's shocking. Mr. Zigubu. Yes, I'm Mr. Zigubu. You're right, I'm Mr. Zigubu. You should see my bathroom. My tub is full of water. So whenever there was water, my tub was full of water. Now it's finished. And I've learned to bath twice in one tub. That is crazy. I don't know, guys. It's crazy. And we African people, we are cursed. The way we are cursed is that when someone builds something for the community, when we come, we take it and try to make it our own thing. So what is happening in Johannesburg is like this. When the city was built, the people who built Johannesburg, they did a lot to build it. Everyone would come from all over the world to make Johannesburg a great place. Then the NC came into power. They took it and they partitioned it among themselves. Someone gets this tender, someone gets that tender, until you get to a point where they've run out of money. So they've stolen everything. Then they shoot each other. They shoot all the mayors of Johannesburg. So like Johannesburg, there was a point when every mayor was killed. Like every mayor after that. That's corruption. Now you have this crazy water situation where since December, there has been continuous lack of water. You should see the infrastructure decay at Johannesburg when you're driving from, if you're off ramp on Allendale, and then you go down, you go up to where there's Econet there, liquid. That road, if you drive that road, there is a pothole there which you can fit a car. Like you can literally take a car and fit it, and it will fit. And then the road is melting from under you. I used to see this in Harare, and I would think, what happened to Harare? Now I'm seeing it in Johannesburg. It's a mess. Johannesburg's total mess and a joke. So is it safe to drink the water? No, you can't drink water from Johannesburg, ever. You'll be killed. You die like that moment. You just... Okay, I think I've covered this, guys, enough. I'm so frustrated. A person who was a minister in the barracks all his life being appointed Minister of Agriculture. Yes, remember, Chiwenga was appointed Minister of Health. So look for a big, big change. The new Malawi president appointed new ministers everywhere. Let me quickly see if anyone is posted here. I've talked about this girl. Right now, I'm looking at a thing as we speak right now. Queen Nadia TV. I'm looking at the right now as we speak. Let's go to. I want to see if someone is posted. Let me look at Mini. Mini sells water. The only person who sells water in Zimbabwe is Mini. Go and check it out. So let me close this window. Otherwise, I will share the picture of here. Let's look at Mini. Then out. Guys, Africa is collapsing under these guys. The leaders of this country, especially South Africa, their priorities are so wrong. Sometimes we do not understand that the next person does not want much from us, but a hug. So that is Mini. She's so connected to the school. She goes there to Tagwirei. So here is our first prize giving day. And who is the guy there? Who is standing next to her? So that is amazing. Go check it out. I think that's the headmaster with the suit. Look at those shoes. I've got that very exact shoe. So that is Mini doing so. I love it. And then let's go to Oppo. What is Oppo saying today? Oppo was fighting Chamisa last night like crazy. Like Oppo was fighting Chamisa as if he was fighting Mnangagwa. I can't believe it. So let's see what he said about Chamisa. So he says Zimbabwe yakazara madofo. Ukaona nyika ine vanhu vanoramba vachidzokorora nonzenzana idina Chamisa madofo. I disagree with Oppo totally. Chamisa is not in the same league with Chamisa. with Mnangagwa. Let's go to President Hakainde Hichilema, then I'm out. That is the last president I'm looking at. How great is thou, O Lord? So that is President Hakainde Hichilema over there. And obviously, as I said, we have a lot of work to do. We need to work on employment creation. That is our passion. And obviously, on the 9th, we've got the court case in Harare. I'm going to be there at court. Please come to the Constitutional Court at 9:30 a.m. on Monday. We'll meet you there. And then obviously, I've got our sponsors. So our sponsors is there. You buy one packet of there, and you get these 2 perfumes. Well, not exactly these 2, but we've got many variants. And that is in Harare, Bulawayo, South Africa, and also across, well, not across the world, because we can't ship this to the UK. So I'd like to thank you for all your support. Support us, support our job, which is to create employment with the university, AFM University. And I hope that things get better, because we're in trouble. We're in trouble. The Zimbabweans were in South Africa. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. All right. I'd like to thank all of you guys. I don't want to repeat this, bro. I don't know what this is about. I didn't see it. I know Min is around. You will never set foot in Zimbabwe. Never. I've never done anything which will get me touched. Ukaona uchibata nini wakapusa. Unobata chinyi for what? Ungozviitira noise mahara. Kutamba nenguva kubata nini. It's a walk in the dark. All right, I'd like to thank all of you for watching. I'll see you guys later. And a good day to you all.